Samsung understood the assignment with the Galaxy S25 Edge, but it didn't strive for extra credit. The goal was to make a Galaxy S25 Plus that's easier to hold, but Samsung did not set out to make the thinnest phone possible. In fact, the Galaxy S25 Edge isn't even the thinnest phone Samsung makes today. Instead, it did what Samsung does best. It gave us a little more inside, a little less. The Galaxy S25 Edge is a very good phone and it feels like something unique compared to every other phone I have reviewed. The difference is noticeable. It's much slimmer and lighter than almost everything else, even when wearing a case. Still, the S25 Edge isn't a revolutionary new design, and I can't help but anticipate the competition it's going to face from Apple in the shape of the rumored iPhone 17 Air. This is the thinnest Galaxy S device Samsung has ever crafted. It's 1.5mm thinner than the Galaxy S25 Plus and almost 2.5mm thinner than the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Could I feel that millimeter in my hand? I'm not sure, but between the thinness and the weight reduction, it's almost a full ounce lighter than the Plus and 2 ounces lighter than the Ultra. The Galaxy S25 Edge is undoubtedly a standout. The Galaxy S25 Edge isn't the phone for you if you want the thinnest phone possible. It's the phone for you if you want a Galaxy S25 Plus but wish it were easier to hold. It's the Galaxy S25 Ultra minus the extra bits that you wouldn't use. Like the S Pen stylus, it's not something totally new, but it's a better option for the right buyer. But why didn't Samsung go for broke? Why not make the Edge the absolute thinnest smartphone ever? The Galaxy Z Fold 6 is 5.6mm thin when it's unfolded. Had it shaved another 0.3mm off the Edge, Samsung could have at least said that this is the thinnest Samsung phone you can buy. The answer, of course, is battery life. The Galaxy Z Fold 6 is super thin, but the battery is split between the two halves. Each half of the Galaxy Z Fold 6 packs only about 2200 mAh of battery life, which a lot less than 3800 mAh battery the Galaxy S25 Edge offers. A thinner Galaxy S25 Edge would have meant a smaller battery, and based on my testing, the Galaxy S25 Edge is using the smallest battery it can get away with. The Edge had trouble lasting past dinner time in my testing period. If Samsung had made the Edge the thinnest phone ever, it probably wouldn't last through my lunch break. I have no doubt Samsung could build such a phone, but I wouldn't recommend it. That makes the S25 Edge a pleasantly thin phone that is simply not very special. There are no special features that set it apart from the rest of the Galaxy S25 lineup. There's nothing new here. It's a well-crafted device that delivers exactly what I expected, no more and no less. That's not a bad thing, it's just predictable. The big problem is that Samsung is competing against a specter. The iPhone 17 Air could arrive later this year, and it's hard not to see the Galaxy S25 Edge as a preemptive attack by Samsung on Apple's next design concept, because no mistake, Apple is going to make a big deal out of going thin. Apple is going to pretend it invented the millimeter. If and when Apple launches an iPhone Air in September, it will act like thinness is the biggest design innovation since the capacitive touchscreen. All other specs be damned, and I think Apple will be willing to shrink the battery and cut back on cameras even more severely than Samsung. If that happens, the iPhone 17 Air will probably be less capable than the Galaxy S25 Edge in many ways, but it will give Apple the all-important bragging rights. Apple could use the dual OLED display found on the iPad Pro, and recent rumors suggest that rumored phone will be around 5.5mm, making it thinner than any phone Samsung currently sells. In a way, this takes the pressure off Samsung. The Galaxy S25 Edge is a very nice phone and it fits neatly in Samsung's price ladder as a little nicer than the Galaxy S25 Plus, but not as feature-packed as the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It doesn't need to prove anything. The Galaxy S25 Edge does fine with less without trying to be the most. Samsung certainly does make it hard on me to decide if the Galaxy S25 Edge is worth its cost. A phone this sleek is an engineering marvel on its own and surely deserves a premium cost attached to it, but there are trade-offs that I'll go into detail in the other categories. For $1,099 you get a phone with 256GB of storage. Upgrading to 512GB raises the price to $1,219. There are 3 color options to choose from: titanium silver, titanium jet black, and titanium icy blue. There's a part of me that wishes for a couple of extra choices, especially considering how a phone of this caliber begs to be naked to show off its best asset. Samsung does make an ultra thin case that doesn't add a whole lot of bulk, but it would have been nice just to have a couple of extra colors to choose from. The Galaxy S25 Edge is now available globally with up to $630 off in savings with a qualifying trade-in. Like the rest of the Samsung Galaxy S25 family, the S25 Edge gets 12GB of RAM to support the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy chipset inside. This platform has proven powerful and very efficient in my reviews of the best Android phones this year. The 6.7-inch display on the S25 Edge seems to be identical to the Galaxy S25 Plus. The main camera uses a new 200-megapixel sensor that we haven't seen before, which is a bit smaller than the 200-megapixel sensor on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but larger than 50-megapixel sensor on the Galaxy S25 Plus. There is no telephoto lens, but the Edge seems to use the same 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera as the S25 Plus. The Galaxy S25 Edge comes with 3900 mAh battery under its display, which is even smaller than the 4000 mAh battery beneath the Samsung Galaxy S25 6.2-inch screen. That's what you sacrifice when you make a phone thin. The real selling point for the Galaxy S25 Edge isn't the thinness, it's the lightness. You have to hold this phone to appreciate it. You can't just look at the S25 Edge if you want to experience how thin and light it is. Photos don't do justice to the remarkably lightweight, and that's a big part of the experience. If you get pinky finger fatigue from balancing your phone, the Galaxy S25 Edge might be the phone that will save your favorite digit. Even though it has a huge 6.7-inch display, the Galaxy S25 Edge is lighter than the iPhone 16 or Pixel 9. It's only 1 gram heavier than the 6.2-inch Galaxy S25, but it feels lighter since it's less dense. The design overall looks nearly identical to that of the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but on very close inspection, things are less impressive. Frankly, the build quality of the Galaxy S25 Edge seems messy compared to the Ultra or to any other Apple iPhone. There are gaps between the frame and the back glass. The SIM card tray doesn't line up perfectly. There's a gap between the camera bump and the back of the phone that I worried would pick up dirt, and by the end of my review period, that was the dingiest part of the phone. This phone could have been special. Samsung could have tried something new, like capacitive buttons on the side, a trick that rumors say Apple is considering. It could have had super fast charging to go with the slim battery. It could have had unique colors or unique finish. Instead, it's just a slimmer version of a phone we got 6 months ago, and it's not even a really nice version at that. The Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge, like the Galaxy S25 Plus, is sort of a hidden gem in Samsung's lineup when it comes to display quality. While the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra has a slightly larger 6.9-inch screen, all three phones all have the same resolution. When you pack the same pixel into a smaller display, you get a screen that's technically sharper in terms of pixel density, which is to say that Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge has a fantastic screen, one of the best you can find on any phone. It is plenty bright even in bright sunlight, though the Ultras does beat the Edge thanks to the addition of the remarkable coating that Samsung has been using for a couple of years to eliminate glare on its flagship flat phone. The display can refresh at up to 120Hz. Take that iPhone 16 Plus, and thanks to LTPO tech, you can even get a full color always on display that refreshes as slowly as 1 Hz to save power. For better and for worse, the Galaxy S25 Edge uses the same One UI 7 interface as the rest of the Galaxy S25 family, with Android 15 serving as the engine. Samsung and Google seem to be locked in a perpetual struggle to control Samsung's phones, so you'll get 2 web browsers, 2 photo gallery apps, even 2 wallets, and 2 different password managers. There are plenty of Galaxy AI features on the phone, and it comes with Google Gemini preloaded and ready to take over the power button at your beck and call. I think we may have already hit the wall with AI features. Samsung has been touting its Now Brief widget and app since the Galaxy S25 launched, and it's a completely useless piece of software. It's supposed to learn things about me and then offer information tailored to my needs, but nothing like that happens. I've been wearing a Galaxy Watch Ultra and Galaxy Buds 3 Pro while using the Galaxy S25 Edge for 2 weeks. The Now Brief offers no more than today's weather, a missive that feels creepy coming from an AI, and the first few events on my work calendar, which are usually the first 3 people who took the day off and logged it properly. At worst, Now Brief offers me partisan political news. I filter out most politics from my social feeds and I don't talk about politics in my text messages. So I'm not sure why Now Brief thinks politics are what interests me. It's inescapable. Thankfully, Samsung has confirmed that the Galaxy S25 Edge will get 7 years of major Android and security updates, so it should last through Android 22, just like the rest of the Galaxy S25 family. When I heard that the Galaxy S25 Edge would use fewer cameras than its S25 stablemates, with one big 200 megapixel main sensor and a supporting ultra-wide, I was excited at the prospect. After all, one of Leica's most popular cameras, the Leica Q3, uses a single large sensor and a wide lens and fakes all of the zoom with digital cropping. If anybody can pull off the same trick on a camera phone, it's Samsung. Nope, I'm disappointed to say the cameras are fine but not groundbreaking. I was hoping the Edge would be a trendsetter. Instead, it runs down the middle of the road without faltering. It does a great job at the things Samsung camera phones do well, but it can't handle the all-in-one duties of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. There are no surprises with the Galaxy S25 Edge cameras. The main camera uses a 200 megapixel sensor with a wide lens, and that sensor is a bit smaller than the 200 megapixel sensor on the Galaxy S25 Ultra. No surprise then that the Ultra is still the best Samsung camera phone in more ways than one. Here are some camera samples of the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. I was expecting excellent performance from the Galaxy S25 Edge, and this phone delivered beyond my expectations. It was plenty fast, with the overclocked Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy chipset providing a bit more boost than you will get on a non-Samsung Snapdragon phone. Samsung has also done a remarkable job of keeping the phone cool even when you push the performance to the limit. I perform a stress test where I run multiple mapping apps on a phone and play music over Bluetooth, then sit the phone above my car dashboard in the sunshine. Most phones take less than an hour of this punishment before they shut down due to overheating. The S25 Edge never quit, managing to stay cool enough to function for as long as I needed. That's incredible. Every iPhone, Pixel phone and Galaxy phone I have tested has failed this endurance test. The Edge really lives up to Samsung's claim of much better cooling. The 10% larger vapor chamber clearly makes a real difference. This makes the Galaxy S25 Edge an easy contender for a best gaming phone ranking. It offers a great performance and superior cooling, everything a gaming phone needs. I also had fun playing games with the Galaxy S25 Edge clipped into my Xbox wireless controller using a cheap third-party attachment from Amazon. The phone is so lightweight that gaming for long periods was a breeze. It's a nice way to kill time while I wait for my Switch 2 to arrive. As I said before, Samsung could have made a thinner Galaxy S25 Edge, but the battery life wouldn't be terrible as it is. During my review period, the S25 Edge often needed a recharge while I was eating dinner, especially if I played games, took a lot of photos, or otherwise pushed the phone heavily. If I scrolled my social feeds and listened to music on the train into work, I would be concerned about whether the battery would last until the train ride home. It's too bad Samsung didn't use the latest silicon carbon battery technology found in that OnePlus 13, which might have helped it to pack in more power. I also wish this phone charged faster than other Galaxy S25 models, not slower. If it had 80-watt charging like the latest OnePlus phones, I wouldn't be worried about having to top up throughout the day because the top up would take less than 15 minutes. As it stands, 15 minutes of charging got me just past 25% and a full charge took about an hour. That's pretty slow by today's standards, especially considering that this battery is smaller than any other inside a Galaxy S25 phone. Samsung might also be exaggerating by its battery claims. It told us to expect the Edge to offer longevity somewhere between the Galaxy S24 and S25. But in our lab benchmark tests, the S25 Edge lasted for less than 13 hours of constant use, where the Galaxy S24 lasted more than 13 hours, and the Galaxy S25 topped 15 hours. If you really need good battery life, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Plus is the Samsung champ, delivering almost 19 hours of screen time in our rundown test, but it's not the Edge's lack of battery life as such that bugs me, it's how long it takes to top the phone up. The Galaxy S25 Edge is remarkably thinner and lighter than your average flagship model, complete with the same One UI 7 experience and the Galaxy AI features found on the S25 Ultra. But despite its impressive design, the Galaxy S25 Edge's biggest shortcoming is its battery life performance.